Hey everybody, happy Sunday, long weekend, and I'm sure everybody is out playing and having a good time. I intend to be doing so very soon. But I wanted to give you guys just a quick rundown of a couple of things. One, this morning I tried our mask, the Royal Treatment. And this mask, I'll just read it. It oxygenates and detoxifies your face with a mask that absorbs impurities with foaming, tingling, luxurious sensation. I can tell you that all of that actually happened. It's true. And it felt really, really nice. And I don't know if you guys can tell, because with the sunny weather, I am far from complaining, but I'm having trouble getting good light in my house. For those of you that don't know, my house is over 100 years old, so it's always an interesting setup for lighting in here. But I don't know if you can tell, but I have zero makeup on yet, and my skin looks and feels better after using the mask. So so far, so good. I'd like to try it a couple more times and see, but I have to say that it made my skin look and feel pretty good, I think. So so that's the quick rundown on the mask that comes. The presenter kit comes with 3 of these, so you can try it 3 different times. And I can tell you, I'll post a picture so you guys can see, because you guys are the only ones I would do that for. But yes, my face looked like that. So that was a little scary, but I think the outcome was good. So the only other 2 things I've done so far is I used our Renewing Day Cream. So I bought that the other day to try. I have to say I really like it. It has kind of almost like an herbal smell to it. I'm not a great cook, so I'm going to be hard pressed to tell you which herb, but it smelled really nice. It smelled sort of day spa like, and then I put our primer on already. But that is all I've done so far. And the thing I can tell you, this has SPF 20 in it. And for those of you that saw my photos about the rose water the other day, and yes, I'm still trying to get rid of that sunburn, but it is so much better, you can tell. I had this on my face, and I was out that whole time. I didn't have a hat on. Crazy, crazy, silly girl. This protected my face, you can tell. I mean, I may have gotten just a tiny, tiny bit of color because it was a 20, and I was out in full-on midday sun. It's very silly, but it worked very well. So high kudos to that. Tracy, I see you asked if the mask was easy to remove. Super easy. I put it on because I hate washing my face over the sink. I end up with like water down my arms. I don't know, I'm a duck or something. So I did it right before I jumped in the shower, and I just jumped in, and it just came right off. There was no scrubbing, nothing. It just comes off really, really easily. So yes, it comes off great. So I was just going to show you guys very quickly I had a request, or someone say the other day, that's a 5-minute face, that's what I need. I think it was Andrea, so hopefully she watches this. But what I'm going to do is just show you guys quickly. Right now, because my face, I've been using a little bit of self-tanner too. My face has a little bit of color to it, so I'm actually mixing my 2 foundations. I have Organza and Taffeta that I literally take my foundation brush, and this video obviously will take more than 5 minutes because I'm showing you guys stuff, but I literally can whip through this in no time in my bathroom where I'm all set up. Right now I'm at my dining room table trying to do this in somewhat better light. So you can see I put 2 dots of each on the brush, and then I just kind of go and plop it around where I'm going to need. And usually I start with my concealer, and I just forgot to do that. I'm out of order now. So so I'm just going to put this on quickly. And you guys, I'm doing this in my phone, so cut me a little slack if it's not like the most perfect job, because I should have put a mirror in front of me, but that is the way it goes. So, so I just put that on quickly, and it's a little bit tougher right now because it's like 1,000,000 degrees in my house and I'm a little sweaty. But our foundation dries to like a powder finish. So a lot of times I'm not a huge powder fan because as I've gotten older it tends to settle into my nooks and crannies. So a lot of times I just leave that. Sometimes though, with our concealer, I'm just gonna put a tiny bit on right now. I'm still using the Organza concealer. I tried the taffeta because my face had a little more color and it wasn't bright enough. It didn't brighten up those dark circles like I need to have. So I'm doing this and then I'll show you what I do really quick. But I put the concealer on the back of my hand and just, probably don't need to today because it's warm, but warm it up, and that helps it go on more smoothly too. And a lot of times I use a brush, but I just didn't grab it this time, and I think this will work okay. So I tend to put it, because I have super industrial strength dark circles, so I tend to just kind of put it in the corners a little, dot it over my eyes. And then what I'll do, because it has more of a dewy finish to it, so a little shinier, sometimes I just take what's left in my foundation brush and kind of dab over it just to kind of take a little of the shine off. I don't mind some of the shine because it actually helps reflect the light away from my dark circles, but that kind of helps blend in the color. And again, I can't see too well on the one side, but hopefully that is not too crazy. And that's how I do the base part. Now, what I have been using instead of blush is our Beachfront bronzer. So if you guys can't tell already, I'm a huge fan of self-tanner bronzer stuff. I am a melanoma survivor, so I try really hard to get my tan the safe way. But you can see here there are two different sides to the Beachfront bronzer, and it has, like, one is more shiny and one is a little bit more matte. And I've seen people where they like mix them both, they dab their brush onto both sides. I actually like to take this side, the more solid looking side, and use it just to contour a little bit. And I don't know if you guys watched that video I posted the other day, but I am now dabbing on my blush or contouring whatever I'm using that day, because otherwise we sweep off our foundation. That was a great simple lesson to learn. So I subscribed to that YouTube channel, by the way. So I just take and just put, you know, a little bit of that where I use it in place of my blusher. So I put a little to give me, you know, accentuate the cheekbones, and then I put it a little bit where the sun would hit. And then another great tip I learned is if you dust just a little bit onto your jawline, it sharpens that jawline. It gives an illusion and kind of takes away a little bit of the double chin or a little of the, you know, some of the effects we get when we get a little bit older. Not everybody in my group has that problem, but some of us do. And then I take the other side and I just dab a little bit and I dust it over the top because it's got a little bit of shine and it gives just a little highlight, which is kind of cool with that whole sunny, trying to look like you've been in the sun look. And then if I'm in a big hurry, I just take it, like I won't do eyeshadow per se. I'll just dust a little bit just to give myself a little color and again, make it look like that simple, I've been in the sun kind of face. Rather than super made up. Remember, this is the 5-minute face. So, so sometimes I just do that and just dust a little bit on that way. Now, if I want to pink it up just a little bit, sometimes that's a little too brown for whatever I'm wearing or whatever I've got going. And, you know, full disclosure, you guys know I was using Bare Minerals before, so I'm still using up some of my stuff. So I would, I'd put just a tiny bit of blusher through there if I wanted it a little pinker. And I'd probably do that first and then put on the bronzer on top of that. So a couple of ways you can do that, but again, super fast and easy. Then I take, and I kind of experimented with this, so with the brows, I take just a little pencil. I just need a tiny bit of fill-in. I do not want like, woo, drawn on brows. But I'm gonna do this. Just fill in a tiny bit. Then I am going to, I'm not going to put this away yet. It's our brow pencil, and you'll see it has a really cool little brush on the end. I'm going to show you in a second. But then I take our gel, and just like with mascara, you want to swirl. You don't want to pump air into it because it will dry out. But you want to just put this on. I use it to kind of fill in just a little bit more, or sometimes if I'm going really casual, I will only use the gel. But I'm going out to dinner tonight too, so I'm kind of doing a little extra. Then I take the brush. It just works best for me, I have found. I think you could probably do this in just about any order that you like, the shading that comes out and the texture that comes out. I like mine to stay a little stiffer, my brows. They're kind of unruly. So this brush that comes on the pencil actually is really, really stiff, and it kind of, after I put the product on, it kind of combs them into place and puts them where I want them. So I actually do it this, and then this again just for the brush. And then last but not least, in the 5-minute face, the super fast weekday kind of face, I do my mascara, so the 2 steps, and I put the gel on. I'm getting my hair in it, so that's really nice. So with the mascara, we want to put the gel on, and I do not gel the bottom right away because I personally do not want fibers on the bottom. I think it makes it too much for me. So I gel the top, and then I put my fibers on. And like I said, I've got the light in my face, so it's a little hard to see. And then I go back over with the gel to seal in those fibers. So you want to make sure you do all 3 steps if you're using the fibers. Now, what I could do if I was in a really, really big hurry is just use the gel. And it gives a nice coat to your lashes, leaves them looking pretty natural. But in my case, like, my lashes are blonde, and so you cannot see them at all unless I put color on them. So that is how I do those. So in that second coat, I actually put the gel, oops, sorry, I just bumped the table. I actually put the gel on the bottom lashes at that point. And again, I'm kind of going daytime, but crossing over, so crossing over into an evening dinner. So I'm not going to go too crazy, but I'm going to put on a little bit more than I normally would for knocking around on a Sunday afternoon, because I won't have time to do more makeup later. So, and you might have been able to tell on the fiber brush on that time there were some fibers sticking off of it. A good thing to do if you see that is roll the fibers on the back of your hand so you don't have loose ones. You know, take it and just roll it a little bit to compact them so that you don't have loose ones that are going to fall off when you're trying to put them on, because that tube is packed with fibers, and every once in a while they get a little crazy. You want to pack them down a little bit before you use them. I'm terrible about doing that because I'm always in a big hurry, so every once in a while I end up with one that drops on my cheek or something. But so there we go. So that's that's a quick 5-minute face. Not much to it, pretty basic, but it'll get you out the door feeling pretty good. And yeah, and I look like I've had a little bit of sun, which the other day I had a little too much, but we're going to try not to do that today since we have our SPF 20 on. All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Have a great Sunday, and thanks for watching.